Last year we started changing the way we're smallholding and we feel the need to be self-sufficient in power. We started on a solar journey. This year we want to go a lot further. And that means this has to go.
And my beloved mower has to go too, but let's show you how we're going to go about it.
Hello, welcome to English Country Life. My name's Hugh.
And my name's Fiona.
And together we run this small holding here in rural Lincolnshire, and we're going through a bit of a revolution.
A big revolution.
So we've been running this place for nearly 20 years now, and it's too big for hand tools. I mean, I think you all probably know that who regularly watch the channel, and it's too big to run an extension lead. I couldn't even carry a drum of wood wire that size. So up to now, we've been pretty much tied for the big stuff to using petrol tools. We've used quite a bit of sort of smaller battery construction tools, but not for the really big, hefty stuff. But honestly, our main choices have always been 2-stroke or 4-stroke petrol, haven't they?
But I think that's normal for most people who start a small holding journey. But with solar technology moving on so much, we spent a lot of time last year seeing what we can do for a normal household. So we don't have panels across the roof, but we have got lots and lots of options to provide electricity for us, and we've got options to store it. So we thought, what more can we do to use all this power that we're storing? And then, of course, there's the fuel crisis that's happened. So the petrol price, for example, to run these tools has gone through the roof. I mean, and it just seems with world events it's getting worse and worse.
It's never going to get any better, is it? You don't sit around thinking, oh, the prices will always come down, because they don't.
So that accelerated our thinking. And then at the start of the year, when we need to start cutting the grass, we have got this mulching mower, and then we've got a glass collection mower. And both of them were broken, and mechanically we don't have that knowledge at the moment, although we do need to learn. We don't have the knowledge to be able to fix them, so they had to go in to be repaired. Now the mulching mower for repair costs £150 and another £100 on top for servicing. So we're 250 quid down before we've even started. So we haven't taken the grass collection one in yet because we're already 250 quid down.
Absolutely, and the other mower, is not going to be cheap to fix either. No. And we're sitting there going, look, there has to be a better way. And the reality is, the decisions we made 20 years ago on what are the right tools now would probably not be the decisions we would make now. And it's not just the mower. Love my chainsaws, love heating with firewood, saves us a lot of money in fuel. But when the chainsaw's been sat idle for 2 or 3 months again, and I'm pulling away, and anyone who's ever tried to fire up a cold 2-stroke will know what that's like. And I'm turning the air blue with it, and I'm not getting any younger. And we now want a set of tools that meet a different set of criteria. We want tools that are easier to start, that don't cost as much in terms of servicing or in terms of running costs, that are lighter, that are quieter, and to be fair, we also want ones that are kinder to the planet. And we think we found some.
Yeah, and to be fair, 20 years ago when we first started out, battery tools were incredibly expensive. The battery technology wasn't great. The solar technology also wasn't as good as it is now. Now the prices have come down for the tools. The battery technology is amazing, and solar technology has improved. Yeah. So the door is open to everyone, and we want to show you what we've come up with and the type of tools we're going to be using.
So let's touch briefly on solar, what we've done and what we're going to do. So this is the heart of our solar system. This is an AFRY P310. Can put out 3,600 watts of power, effectively single phase mains. It can store approaching 4,000 watt hours of power. We've got 4 big solar panels in the yard hooked into this. All self-built, all self-installed. The solar panels are sat on top of one of our wood storage areas. But it racks up a great deal of power, and we have loved it. We've done enormous things with this. We've run pillar drills and table saws and lights and done all sorts of other good stuff with it. In fact, so much so that we want to do more. So this summer, we often use dehydrators, as a lot of you will know. And again, they're power-hungry beasts. We want to run them on solar. We want to run our mowers, our chainsaws, and lots of other tools on solar as well. So we've extended it. We have added additional storage. So it's still 3,600 watts of power, but we're storing now nearly 8,000 watt hours. So we've got twice as much storage to do twice as many things. And there's something new that we think is coming to the UK. We've heard about this in solar forums. There's a type of solar called a balcony system. Now, it needs legislation to pass to be used, but the word is that's happening. And with a balcony system, you can self-install some panels and then backfeed your entire normal sockets so that your lights and your router and your television and all those other things you have in your house can use the solar power without you going to all the expense of getting a massive system installed. So we're planning to try one of those, so stay tuned for that as well. So if our petrol tools are the problem because they're expensive to maintain, expensive to run, they're noisy, they're polluting, etc., what's the solution? Well, for us, I think it has to be battery.
Yeah.
Because it's just the amount of hedges we cut. And we did do it for a year or two, dragging mains cables around. And you don't want to do that. You
So
really do
frustrating.
not want to be doing that. It just made the job so painful. So we have used battery tools for quite a long time, and I think, like most people, we started off with drills and drivers. And you know, I know it seems silly now, but for a man who grew up with mains power drills, when I was building wooden chicken coops, good, powerful, lightweight drill drivers in the sort of 18 volt, 20 volt range are a complete game changer. They really are. They're amazing. And so we expanded that, and we got reciprocating saws and jigsaws and chop saws and all the other stuff you use for construction. And we started with DeWalt, and there are other brands out there. There is Makita and there is Milwaukee, so yellow, blue, red. And pros and cons of each, they're all pretty good. The one thing I'm going to say is choose carefully, because once you get hooked into a battery system, you end up with quite a lot of batteries. You don't want to be buying a completely different set of batteries because you want a new tool. So I do think with all of these things, choose wisely at the beginning, because you are kind of hooked into a system there. But a few years ago, we started the thought that went, well, if they work in the workshop, do they work in the garden? And the answer is a cautious yes, I think I would say, in some places. So I think this was the first outdoor tool we
My
bought.
favourite tool by far. I love
18
this.
volt hedge trimmers. And they
Lightweight, quiet.
Yeah, lightweight, quiet, sufficiently powerful for the job. And I think I didn't like the petrol ones that we had for a long time, because honestly, 2 hours of this really heavy tool that's vibrating in your arms as you're moving it, and you feel like you end up with forearms like Popeye. I've never been accused of looking like Popeye, but kind of that's how it feels. We did have problems with the mains electric ones as well.
Yep. He's being very kind here. When he says problems, what he means is that I had to use an RCD trip switch the whole time because I kept cutting through the wires.
I did actually keep a spool of spare cable at one point. And to be honest, it's very easily done with those mains ones when you're doing a big area. And then we moved on to trimmers. Grass trimmers, whippersnippers, call them whatever you like. And again, I'm going to use that word advisedly, grass trimmers, because our first one in the 18 volt range, I tried to use to cut down some thick nettles and brambles and so on, didn't I? And tried to was the operative word. I basically destroyed one of these. They are not brush cutters. For edging your lawn and for like light areas of grass cutting, brilliant. And actually, I think you like them because around the chickens, don't you?
I mean, to be fair, I bought it in the first place so that I could trim some of the awkward grass around the coops. And when Hugh went into the nettle patch, I got a new one as a present, which actually was quite nice.
Yeah, it was a slightly upgraded version as well. So I think what I'm trying to say is the sort of the 18, 20 volt, there is definitely a place for it, because the batteries aren't massive, they're not too heavy, they make nice, lightweight tools. But at the point I started trying to use it as a brush cutter, we hit a limit of what an 18 volt tool can do. There are, for example, 18 volt chainsaws out there, and I've tried one, and frankly, I wasn't impressed. So that's kind of where we stuck for 2 or 3 years at least, wasn't it, with the battery garden tools?
So we've moved on a little bit from there, and Going back to Hugh's phrase of you need to choose carefully who you actually go with in terms of the batteries, we recently were invited to the Garden Press event where people like ourselves who are on social media or write for magazines as we do can meet various garden companies. And we met Stige, who are very reputable and very well known in the garden marketplace. And we started talking to them about their battery tools, and it was an absolute revelation, wasn't it?
I couldn't believe I mean, they had ride-on lawnmowers that could do many acres in battery tools. And I mean, that was almost that light bulb moment when you go,
Yeah.
the 18 volt is not to the limit here. You know, we've been looking at it from moving from workshop tools to garden tools. We need to talk to someone who's an expert in garden tools.
And after talking to Stige, we are actually focusing now on 3 areas for this year. So we've got mowing, and this is our new battery-powered mower, cutting firewood, and this is our new battery-powered chainsaw, and pruning, because we do have an orchard, and honestly, the amount of effort actually pruning that orchard, well, I'm saying me, but actually I do the grass cutting, Hugh does all the pruning, so it's not anything to do with me. I don't have sore hands at the end of it, but we are looking at pruning too. And this is my new favourite toy. This is my battery-powered lawnmower. Now, one of the biggest problems I've got with our petrol lawnmower isn't the noise, isn't the fact that it's expensive to maintain. It's actually that it's not that manoeuvrable because it's very heavy. This is far more lightweight. Now, this is really important to me particularly because I do most of the grass cutting. I enjoy walking behind the lawnmower. I find it almost meditative. It's really something I love. But we've got a lot of space in our vegetable area, which is growing space, but we've kept the grass paths which go around the areas, which means we need manoeuvrability. So a ride-on mower doesn't work for us. This does. So does any walk-along lawnmower. Now, Stige do a whole range. So they do those ride-ons, which can actually mow up to 4 acres on battery power. But there are really affordable push-along mowers as well for suburban gardens. And I was really quite shocked just how affordable they are. But this is like a halfway house. So it's self-propelled. So I do have a lot of grass I need to cover. So being self-propelled, that's really, really helpful. But it has a lot of other things too. It's got grass collection, it's got mulching, which of course is my favourite setting. But if I just want to discharge the grass clippings without mulching them, I can either do it as a side discharge or rear discharge too. So it's got everything. Now, we will be covering all of the equipment that we've looked at and will be looking at in this video in a lot more detail in detailed review videos. But for now, this is an introduction and I adore this.
In my opinion, battery chainsaws move from the sublime to the ridiculous. I've tried the 18 volt ones and honestly, they're just not capable of the kind of work I want to do. But on the other hand, only a couple of weeks ago, we had a dangerous diseased ash tree right on the border of our property that needed very carefully dismantling and bring it down. There were stallions in the field behind it. You know, you've got to be really careful doing that. So we got a tree surgeon friend of ours to bring it down safely and carefully, and he did the whole job with battery tools. Now, if you can bring down a sort of 25, 30 foot tree with battery tools and section it up, you're not talking about something that's incapable. But the type of saws that he uses, the battery alone is many hundreds of pounds, and we just can't justify that kind of expenditure. So I want something that's a lot more than an 18 volt tool, but a lot cheaper than the top professional tools. And when we were talking to Stige, I came across this. It's got a 14-inch bar and it uses a 48 volt 4 amp hour battery. And that sounded like much more what I was looking for. And also, in fairness, it's less than half the price of my Stihl petrol saw. So it's affordable for the kind of small holders and those who, like us, heat and cook with wood. But can it cut at a decent speed? Well, I've tried it out, and yeah, I was actually really quite surprised. It's got a 20 metre per second chain speed, which is up there with a lot of sort of basic class 1 chainsaws. Cuts through at a decent speed, and surprised me by how much it can cut. I can cut 1.5 cubic meters of this hard ash with a single battery charge. Now I need to work with it a lot more, but so far I think this is hitting the sweet spot of price and performance.
So I've shown you the mower, which is my favourite battery power tool, and Hugh's favourite battery power tool, the chainsaw. But these we are actually going to fight over. These come as a kit. Now this is a battery powered secateur, and I'm just going to turn it on. Ooh. There we go, look at that. Now initially Hugh said this is a silly idea until he had to prune all of the fruit trees this last year. And I've just got to keep doing that because that's so fun. But after he had pruned out dozens and dozens of fruit trees, he had hand cramp, muscular cramp in his hands so badly he was in a lot of pain. But these just take all of that pain away. The strain is all gone. There's no more trying to grip and grip and grip and twist and get those branches off. These take all of that pain away. Now the mini chainsaw, so for your bigger branches that you can't get the battery powered secateurs through, this is so much fun. I love this. It really does mean that you can very, very quickly go through some branches which are awkward and in the way. Now clearly to actually cut anything we need to be wearing PPE so there's no nasty accidents. But these two together really do make a huge difference during pruning season.
So that's what we're trying to achieve this year. It is a kind of a slightly odd combination of trying to live more economically but also more sustainably. And we really want to thank both Stige for their help with the tools, AFRI who are great at helping us with our solar ambitions to really help us work towards achieving that. We know it's not going to be easy, but we feel like the time has come where we've really got to embrace that change.
Now, as we've said, all of the products which we've looked at today, we're going to be showing you in much more detail in proper review videos coming up soon. But for now, if you've enjoyed today's video and found it helpful and really want to join us on our solar journey, give us a thumbs up down below. And if you're not already a subscriber, hit subscribe and that bell icon and you'll get to know every time a brand new video goes live, and that is a free service. But for now, thanks for watching and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Take care.